Hi, hello there. I'm Steve, the AI teacher guy. Welcome to my channel where we teach teachers how to save time and build better resources by leveraging AI. Now today we've got a really fun project where we're going to teach Year 10 science concepts using an old school retro game called Lunar Lander. Now this game basically is a spaceship and you've got to try and land it on the ground. And you're basically pressing spacebar to try and get the ship to burn some fuel, and then it's able to fly off the ground and doesn't sort of crash. Now there's a couple of things that play in here. It's the forces coming down on it, and then how fast is the ship accelerating down, and how much is it resisting the gravity of the different planet that it's on. So to get into that, I really just want to unpackage how we got here. So first of all, Leon first posted this, and he's a bit of an AI guru, and he shared a really interesting thing on Claude 3.5, where he was able to build an application really quickly in here. And all he did was basically typed in, I want to create an interactive which helps students with an upcoming assessment based on particular outcomes in Year 10 physics, investigating Newton's laws of motion, quantitative analysis, and the relationship between force, mass, and acceleration of objects. Now this was really cool. It generated this so quickly, and you were able to use this sliding scale to see all these different things that were happening. I wanted to take it a little bit more further by making a bit more of a gamified version of this. So it got me thinking about how could this be possible? And we're going to try and do that with Lunar Lander. So to get there, we need to first of all install Python. So I'm going to go through quickly how do you install Python. So we go to python.org, we go to downloads, and it will change it for Windows or Mac depending on what option you have. And all you do is click on the download and then download for Windows. You then open it up, and I already have it installed, but I'm going to actually upgrade it. And when you do this, this is really important. Make sure under optional features, you select the pip option. So by adding that in, it allows you to install external libraries. And that's super, super important behind the scenes, and you'll see why. So when we install pygame, which is a gaming engine, we need to use a thing called the pip library to install that. And it's really, really easy to install. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So while that's installing, get that. So it's going to install it all in. And then the really cool part with this is pretty much once it's installed, it's taking a little bit longer than what I was expecting. It's super easy to install. So on a Mac, to install pygame, it's a little bit easier. You'd basically type in the command pip3 install pygame. On a PC, a little bit different. Because we've installed pip, it's not pip3, it's just pip, and then we go install pygame. So those keys to get there again, pip3 install pygame. Now to get there, you press the Windows key, you type in CMD. On Mac that would be terminal, and then I go pip install pygame, and that's all you had to do. Good to go. So now you have a version of pygame installed on your computer. Now to open Python, you just press the Windows key and then idle, and then that is your idle shell all good to go. Then we go up here to go new file, and we have a blank document to install to copy and paste in the code that ChatGPT is going to generate for us. Now, like all good prompts, I always upload a profile first before I do anything. This is like loading the cartridge into the game so that it has an expert, and ChatGPT will emulate this. Now, this is my computer science math teacher profile. I'm going to change this a little bit. So instead of just computer science, I'm going to put in there in science and then physics as well, just so it understands that's what it needs to be able to do. Then we're going to run that, and we're good to go. Please write the gameplay for the classic Atari game, Lunar Lander. we'll go please write out. Cool. So it's going to describe how Lunar Lander works. And this gives a bit of a description here. So by doing that first, it's understanding what needs to happen inside the game. And then we're good to go. Right. So we're now going to build our version of Lunar Lander. So please use pygame to create a version of Lunar Lander. It will only be one-dimensional in the y-axis. It should have a HUD to show all of the important variables that are changing in the game. You will also need to set the variables at the start of the game, such as gravity, the fuel, and then the mass of the ship. Anything else? The ship should be a simple rectangle. Actually, let's see what happens if it doesn't have a rectangle. Please create a simple version of a ship using ASCII style art. Let's see if that works. Cool. So it's going off and working out the code. Let's see if that works. So we copy the code, come across into Python, paste it in. We're pretty sure it's. So save that. Cool. So I'm pressing spacebar. Oh, ran out of fuel. Didn't work. And that's pretty much how you can build a Lunar Lander. So now we can do some really interesting stuff with this. So we can go a little bit further. On the HUD, show the acceleration of the ship. Then change the speed accordingly. At the start of the game, allow the user to set the gravity, fuel, and mass of the ship. So let's run that. And this is what's really cool as a computer scientist is you're sort of mapping a real world scenario into a game. So then you can start talking about, well, how does velocity actually work? What is the Y position? And there's a whole heap of mathematics that's happening behind the scene. So for example, the altitude is taking away based on the velocity that's been given. It's drawn the ship there. Pretty cool. That looks good to go. So let's copy that. Come across here into the idle. Delete the original code. Run that. See what happens. So we're on a default. Let's go 0.9. Fuel, let's go 100. And the mass of the ship is 1. Yep. And you can see that that worked, which is pretty cool. So let's run that again just so that you can see it. So go across here to run module. And we type in here, default. And as I press spacebar, you can see the deceleration based on the burn that's happening from the ship. And then, yeah, cool. So hopefully that's given you some ideas of how you can build a really simple, quick game in pygame, which will help students learn scientific concepts in a really fun and easy way. You don't need to have a super coding experience now to build these applications. The hardest part, like I said, is at the beginning, downloading Python and installing it, and then setting in just doing that pip install pygame. There's some really cool applications to this, which hopefully some people might lean into. Please put those ideas down in the comments down below. Happy to sort of lean into this if other people want me to try and build other little applications, which is really cool. So don't forget to like and subscribe the video down below, as that does help with the YouTube algorithm. And yeah, see you next time on the AI Teacher Guide. Adios.